What's up, guys? Hey, let's go ahead and get started as people keep piling in here. Welcome everybody. I am Rory Morgan. I'm the owner of Brand Lab, also known as Brand Lab Media. Dr. Zaino and I have been doing a couple of these, and they've been really, really fun for us. So at the end of the day, there's a skill deficit, right? I think you guys probably feel it. Times have changed, things have shifted in the marketplace. We've got to learn new skills in order to keep up. And I feel the same way, right? I mean, things change fast. And we want to empower you guys. We want to make sure you guys feel like you have the power to grow your own clinic. So, Brand Lab's a company that this company started 7 years ago. We work with clinics of all types, primarily chiropractic, but then a lot of the niches that come out of that. So we work with chiropractors and med spas, but then you've got your neuropathy, you've got your spinal decompression, you've got your functional medicine. You've got a lot of the new technologies that are coming out, a lot of regenerative medicine, and people are utilizing things like stem wave, shock wave, stem cells, right? All of these types of clinics. We work with a lot of pediatric clinics. And so Brand Lab has helped over 100 clinics now reach $1 million a year. We take a lot of pride in that. And we do it because we don't just run ads, right? A lot of people on this webinar have tried that approach, right? Hey, let me just hire someone, let me get some ads, and then I'll get some patients. Marketing is something that fits into a business strategy, and that's what we do. We have to have a business strategy that utilizes ads. And so that's who we are. That's what we do. And Dr. Zano, I know a lot of these people know you, but will you introduce yourself real quick?
Yeah, hey, I'm Dr. Chris Zaino. So I just think my story with you is way better than who I am, what I did in the past. So I always tell people one thing to rise to the top is cool. It's a cool journey. It's rewarding. It's a struggle, and it's worth it all. But when you go from one aspect, you hit the top, and then you go back, and you lose it all. That's an entirely different beast to handle in your head. So I got to go through that. I was just chasing shiny, blinky objects, and then went to multiple digital companies and got the same thing. Started off kind of good, then tailored off and saw multiple people had the same ads, etc. And it just got to the point where it became extremely expensive. And I kept on remembering what one of my mentors told me. He's like, listen, Chris, there's two things you can't lose in life. Number one, the ability to trust yourself, and two, the ability to take the risk. And so it got to the point where I was shell shocked. I was fearful. I was losing money. I didn't want to do it. And one of my associates at the time, he says, "Listen, I worked with an office that used Brand Lab, and they got like this many new patients per month." I'm like, "What?" Because I was getting spending a lot to get like two a week. And he's like, "Yeah, but it's a different course. They teach you the skill." And I knew that's what it was because a lot of the docs and a lot of you on here that I consulted, the ones that are doing amazing, I found that they did their own. They knew the skill of marketing, right? And some of these docs even gave up practicing for marketing, because they realized the benefit of that. So I realized the person who has the skill has the power, and I was deficient in the skill. So I was like, the only way I'm gonna get out of this is I have to learn the skill, not be stubborn. I have to learn the skill of marketing, and so that's where Brandlab entered into my life. And this May will be 1 year. It's been the one of the greatest experiences ever, and really helped resurrect a rough time in my life.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, I think we'll jump into it. Something you mentioned there, right? The skill of marketing. It's like if you didn't get a marketing degree or you don't consider yourself a social media person, that's okay. Like one of the things we're going to talk about is just learning skills and skill stacking, guys. But the skill of communicating on relevant platforms it's the skill if you want to have impact. I'm just going to go ahead and make the assumption you all want to have impact. You want to have impact in your community, in your family. You want to have impact for your patients. You want to impact your own life, right? And learning how to communicate on the channels where people are paying attention is the skill. It's the skill. And so I absolutely want to just impress upon you it's okay to be a beginner and not be like the world's greatest when you first get started. So let me go ahead and open up my screen. Tonight, night one, guys, we're going to go through some similar content with a slightly different twist as we went through last time. So if you've been here before, drop your questions in as we go along. If you don't understand something, if you have a new idea, and please get pen and paper ready to go. You are absolutely going to want to take notes. You're going to want to take notes because we're going to go through exercises and you're going to want to have a list of things at the end of this because we're going to be coming up with ideas together. And if you get to the end and you don't have any ideas, and that's you were just hoping that we are going to give you a copy paste thing, then you're going to be a little disappointed. You're not going to have anything to take action on. We're going to get through this, do these exercises together. We're going to give you examples. You've got to have stuff written down. Otherwise, it's just you're not going to get the usefulness out of it that you had hoped to. All right, guys. All right, I'll go ahead and share my screen here, and we are going to start jumping into it.
And just to let everybody know on that Q&A, you'll see there that Q&A. I'm manning that right there. So any questions you have when Rory is talking, just put
Yeah,
those in the Q&A and I will be there answering with you, or I'll be able to then bring them over to Rory. So just want to
sweet.
let you know. Thank you so much.
Perfect. All right, guys. So, why your marketing is garbage and how to fix it. All right, we're going to talk about some of the whys. We're going to talk about some of the myths and some of the misconceptions that we really need to get clear on if we want to have a flow of new patients. Okay. So, here's what you're going to have by the end of the session you're going to have a new skill, which is going to allow you to control the growth of your clinic. Put maybe a one in the chat. Put a number one in the chat if you don't feel like you have control over the ability to grow your clinic, right? If you feel like you have to outsource control, drop a one in there because I think that's a challenge for people. Drop a one in the chat. I think did we get the chat working here, the regular chat,
I
Dr.
know
Zaino?
we're at the Q&A. So
Okay.
everybody's saying one, of course.
Okay, perfect. Now, if I'm not mistaken, probably doesn't feel good to not have control. So in addition to having control, you'll have the ability to actually, you can pull the levers yourself. You're going to have actual advertising assets that you can use immediately to go get new patients. So you should leave here tonight saying, I have ads that I can run that are unique and different. Okay. All right. And they will look something like this. You might not have quite as nice of biceps as this guy here, but here's the idea.
Hello, Woodlands and Spring area. Are you suffering with headaches, neck pain, stenosis, numbness and tingling down the arms into the hands, or carpal tunnel, mid back pain, lower back pain where it's shooting down to that leg like sciatica? If you are, we have an amazing special promotion for you guys. So if you just click below and sign up for an exam, you can meet with one of our amazing doctors. You'll get an exam and consultation, stress x-rays and motion x-rays to detect the exact problem, your first scientific spinal corrective adjustment, and if you have any type of disc issues, right here, a decompression therapy. Over $688 value just for, here's a promotion, $21. Limited time, and for the first 17 action takers, it's $21. Click below. Your pain is not serving you. It's time to start living life on your terms once again. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys, there it is, right? So can we see the difference? The ads that we typically see out there, does that look different? Can you feel the energy? The people that respond to that, they're hooked. They're into it. Anything you want to comment on, Dr. Zaino?
Yeah, a real huge thing here, guys, that I didn't realize. So number one, when you're doing the video, you have your unique selling proposition, right? So, you know, I want to be a nonverbal sermon, but the big thing, not only was it stopping people and they were watching it because you saw the view times, but when it was the first time, guys, in over probably 8 to 10 years of doing digital marketing, that anywhere Monique and I went, dinner, the gym, whatever, people were coming up to me. and they didn't come up to me that I saw your ad. They say, "Hey, I saw your the post you had," or so they felt this was like an informational post. So it gave a third party celebrity type feel to this, which was pretty amazing. So it wasn't just the ads responding great and the leads responding great, but this social expert quality happened immediately from this as well. So, and Roy, that was just as positive and beneficial to the office as well, because then we had people coming in regardless, 2 or 3 months after they saw this ad.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the big thing. Like if your social media ads are working correctly, all of your patient sources should increase, if that makes sense, guys. So, it's a really limited thing if it's just like, hey, we got some leads, right? But when you have good videos, a lot of people, they don't want to just go submit their information. They watch the video, then they go to your website, maybe they watch a YouTube video, they learn about you, but it's the video that catches their interest and makes them dig deeper. And you should be getting more referrals, right? When your friend tells someone else, "Hey, this is my doc, you should go see him." They're like, "Oh yeah, I saw that guy on Facebook. I saw that guy on Instagram, on TikTok." And they're just way more receptive to it. All right, let's move on. So I want to start by busting a couple myths, and I think these are really huge here. So the first myth is that you can just hyper target the exact perfect person that you want, right? That you can just go out there and you can just say like, "Hey, the social media stuff, it's so easy. Like, I just need an expert. Just go find the exact perfect person that I need." Don't show my ads to the people that are not perfect. Well, that's actually a myth. So this used to work that way. People, we used to be able, with the targeting that was available, to go find people who had recently been in a car accident, people who had been searching for spinal decompression, right? People who had actually been searching for functional health or functional medicine doctors. Unfortunately, that's gone. We've seen Mark Zuckerberg get called into Congress. There's all these privacy concerns. They don't allow it anymore. If you've heard of the iOS 14 update, it's not there anymore. We can't track people everywhere they go. And so you can't do it that way anymore. So that's a myth. And anyone that's telling you that is not really telling you the truth. The way that you target now is the first 5 to 7 seconds of your video. So you notice in that video we saw earlier, what did Dr. Zaino do there? If you have headaches, neck pain, back pain, and he's demonstrating and calling out these issues. And so somebody who doesn't have those issues, they scroll past. Somebody who does have those issues says, "Hey, that is me." And then they watch the rest of the video. So hopefully that makes sense. That's how you target now, is with your video. Myth number 2, hey, I can outsource my marketing to an expert. I believe that's a myth. Do we get lucky sometimes? Sure. Here's the truth. And this might ruffle a few feathers here. But if you look at what Dr. Zaino said earlier, the most successful people he knows, the most successful doctors, the most successful coaches, they're doing their own marketing. And here's Peter Drucker. What Peter Drucker said is all business, everything. If you just look at business, there's two things. It's innovation and marketing. Innovation means you got to have a product that works, right? If you don't have something that gets the results, then you're not going to have much of a business. But everything else is just the marketing. It's the communicating a message to your market. And we're going to talk, marketing means a lot more than running ads. Marketing is much deeper and much more strategic than that. Now I'm going to take quote number 2 here, and this is by, I have a typo here. It's W.E. Deming, not D.E. Deming. But he's another one of he's world-class consultant, pretty much created the consulting industry in America. And he said, if you can't describe what you're doing as a system, you don't understand it very well. So, what I would say is if you can't understand your business, right, as a marketing system, then you don't understand your business very well. And that's why I would argue that it feels like you don't have control because you don't actually understand how the business works. All right. Everything that happens in your business is an interaction with your marketplace. When someone goes to the toilet in your office, that's a marketing function. Okay. So if I, this is the next myth here. If I could just get one awesome ad, or if I could just hire the perfect agency, then my clinic will grow. And again, you're in that spot of no control. All right. So it's a myth. It's not true. Here's the truth. The point of hiring an agency, because obviously agencies have their place. The point of hiring an agency is to save you time. It's more efficient for somebody who's good at running ads to spend their time doing it than for you to spend your time doing that. Right? It is a task. It does take time, and you can't do everything yourself. But what agencies cannot do is they cannot do the thinking for you. Okay. And that's what we're going to talk about is how do you have a strategy? How do you think through what am I going to say? Why am I going to say it? And what's going to work? It's the thinking that you can't outsource. And that's what most clinic owners do is they hire agencies because they haven't thought about what works and what doesn't work. They don't have an actual strategy. And so they're asking the agency to do the strategy for them. So this is why you end up surprised when it doesn't work is you're realizing, oh my gosh, like I just had to copy paste somebody else's strategy. All right. So again, agencies have their place, but you should be hiring an agency because you do know what works. And then that agency is basically someone to help you scale, right? They can be more efficient, but you have to know what works before you hire that agency. Okay. Now, in today's day and age, the hacks are gone. I already mentioned this. Like, we don't have all these backdoor tricks that are left anymore. It's back to the way it's supposed to be, which is to say that the fundamentals matter again. Okay. And the fundamentals of marketing are eyeballs, right? So, where are the eyeballs? It's no secret that's social media, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's TikTok, it's YouTube, right? You have to get your message where the eyeballs are, and that will never change. I don't care if we live in a VR world, we're going to have to know where are the eyeballs. Fundamental number 2 is the message. So, what are you actually saying when you have the eyeballs in the ears? When people are looking at you and paying attention to you, what are you actually saying to them? And then it's strategy. So, how do you actually package up the offer that you're making to them? Does it actually sound attractive? Does it actually sound unique? How have you differentiated how you solve the problem? How have you differentiated how that offer is packaged up? Does it sound different? Do you have something like a proven process, right? If one guy says, hey, I'm a chiropractor, I can give you an adjustment, and another guy says that he has a unique the 3Z method for healing, right? The 3Z method. And I just made that up. Makes no sense. But, it's Dr. Zaino. His last name starts with Z, and maybe he names his technologies with Z's starting with them. And now he uses the 3Z method, and that's his proven process to get rid of migraines, whatever it is, right? And now people are curious. Well, what's the 3Z method? I want to find out about that because I have migraines, right? Do you have a unique mechanism? Is there any, hey, the most famous example of this, guys, and we'll talk about this later, P90X, $1 billion in sales on that P90X program. And what was the unique mechanism? Muscle confusion. Do you remember those? Do you remember those infomercials? Muscle confusion. Nobody had ever used that term before. And they just got all these people to be like, oh my gosh, P90X has muscle confusion. Look at the before and after photos. Muscle confusion obviously works, right? That's marketing, guys. These are the fundamentals of marketing. So in other words, what exactly are you doing to get your clinic to stand out and actually occupy a unique or a higher or a set apart place in the mind of your prospects? Guys, can you type into the chat or the Q&A right now? Like if this is making sense, if there's any bells going off for you where it's like, oh, hey, man, I hadn't thought about that. That makes sense. Maybe just type in yes. Just put the word yes in there if this is helping you understand maybe why some of your marketing hasn't been working.
Awesome. And guys, also remember, I'm manning that Q&A. So any questions you have whatsoever, I see all the yeses. Just let me know. I'm right here live with you guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys. I see some of these coming
Yeah,
in.
ton of
Awesome.
yeses.
Yeah, a lot of people. All right. So where are the eyeballs, right? As we talk about these fundamentals here, where are the eyeballs? We already know. You guys probably see it. When you open up your phone, when you look at this thing, what pops up in front of you? A bunch of vertical short form videos. Okay. That is king in today's market. All right. So you have to be willing to make videos just like the one you saw from Dr. Zaino. And when you do that, you're going to be getting in front of the right people. All right. Now, there's going to be two ways to approach what you learned today. I think almost everyone on this call is probably in the business of changing people's mindsets around how they view their health. What does everybody want today? They want a pill, right? Quick, easy, fast. Can you make me healthy with a pill? And we know that doesn't work, right? And so that's the first method. Is there a pill for that method? Hey, just copy and paste what you did for the other guy. Hopefully it'll work for me. Hopefully I can have a healthy clinic just like that. Every once in a while it works. Thank God for modern medicine. Sometimes we need a pill. Fair enough. But just like pills, it only addresses the symptoms usually. You're not dealing with the root issue, okay? And that means you're eventually going to deal with the same symptoms again because that issue is still going to be causing the same problems. And what I want to contrast this with is the skill stacking method. And that's where you learn the principles and the skills and you implement them into your business and life. And you actually make them a part of you. And you realize, like, this is important. I'm going to take ownership for this. So with this method, you can actually truly build ongoing systematic marketing machine that's going to allow your business to reliably acquire patients for the long term. All right. So, couple themes as we go through this. Skills pay the bills. That's theme number one. And I'm gonna made a couple of these. You've probably seen this guy before, Michael Jordan. Now, Michael Jordan had to learn skills, right? If Michael Jordan would have said, hey, you know what? I'm really athletic and I'm a pretty smart basketball player, but I want to be the greatest basketball player of all time, but I don't really feel like I need to learn how to shoot. I'm just going to do it with my athleticism and my passing and my dribbling and my defense. Now, he might have still been a pretty good player, but he would not have been that icon that we all know, right? So he just says, yeah, I'll just dribble and pass and play defense. Not going to get the job done. I'll throw down some dunks every once in a while. But we have to realize that this is a guy who was in the off season adding a new skill to his repertoire every single year and never stopped improving. So we all make more money and we help more people no matter what we do. If you're a roofer, if you're a chiropractor, if you're helping people with neuropathy, if you're helping people with gut issues, you're going to help more people and they're going to reward you with more money when you're more valuable, right? Just like Michael Jordan, if he didn't shoot, he wouldn't have been all that valuable. Our value comes from the skills we have. It really is that simple. And skill stacking means you've got to stack multiple sets of skills together to increase your value. Michael Jordan, he had the mindset. He worked on his mindset. He worked with Tim Grover to make sure he was focused, right? His shooting, his footwork was impeccable. His defense, his dribbling, his leadership, his athleticism, he had all of that. As a clinic owner, you've got to learn leadership, strategy, communication, selling, how to deliver results with your treatments, right? All of that is important. And the most valuable skill that the owner of any business can have is the skill of being able to acquire patients. Why do I say that? Because if you don't acquire patients, you don't even have anyone to treat, right? It's the thing that everything else is dependent on. All right. So for the owner of a business to say that they're going to become wealthy or they're going to have financial freedom, whatever your goal happens to be, while at the same time saying, hey, I don't need to learn how to get clients. That would be the same thing as Michael Jordan saying, I'm going to become the greatest basketball player of all time, but I don't need to learn how to shoot. I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it with these other basics. All right. Theme number 2, product market fit is legit. Now, product market fit is a term that most small business owners are not familiar with. Product market fit is probably the most important term that you could know as a business owner. You have to know firmly, we have product market fit. Okay. Now, product market fit is defined as the scenario in which your target market desires what you're selling, is purchasing what you're selling, is using and staying with you and referring their friends and family to your business at a rate that exceeds your ability to keep up with demand. So you want to exceed your capacity to deliver, basically. What that means, right? So this is just supply and demand, right? It means you can raise prices. It means you can hire more people to grow. But at the end of the day, the problem becomes, how do I serve these people instead of how do I find people? Does that make sense, guys? What I'd like you to do, type in the chat if this has been an issue for you, where you're like, I don't, maybe just put, why don't you put, put fit for product market fit. If you feel like, man, we have product market fit, put fit. And if you don't have it, put no fit. So if your biggest problem, if your biggest challenge, or the question that you're asking constantly is, how do I get more patients? That means you don't have product market fit. If your biggest problem, your biggest challenge, or the question you're always asking is, how do I hire? How do I onboard? How do I train? How do I grow my team so I can meet the demand? That means you do have product market fit. I'm going to take a look in the Q&A. So we've got no fit. We've got a few of you guys, you feel like you do have product market fit, which is awesome. And then we've got a bunch of people that are also saying no, needs kind of, right? And so I would just kind of push back and I would say, sort of means no, right? That's where I would go with it. But thank you guys. Thank you. Okay, so therefore, right, if product market fit is what we're after, it is the foundation for all business growth. Like without that, you're constantly going to be stuck in second gear. Okay, you've got to solve that one problem before you can work on any other area of your business, right? So no matter what your goals are, if your goal is to sell your practice, if your goal is to make $1 million a year, if your goal is to get 300 5-star Google reviews in a year so that you can say like, man, this is really proof that I'm having an impact, right? If your goal is to have 10 locations, if your goal is to move out of treating patients and really manage your practice, that's probably the one I hear the most often. I really want to have this practice. I still want to see patients a little bit, but I really want to lead the practice. I want to have other docs working for me. If that's your goal, it is downstream of product market fit. Everything is downstream of product market fit. All right. Just like Michael Jordan, if he wanted to do it, he had to master everything. And the only way for a clinic or any other business, right, a plumber, to reach their goals is to master the required skills. And that's going to include strategy and positioning of your clinic. That's a skill you have to learn. You're going to have to learn offer creation. What's my offer? How do I make it unique? You're going to have to learn how to differentiate. You're going to have to learn communication to the marketplace. Right now, that means short form videos. But guys, keep in mind, if you develop a strategy and you know how to differentiate and you know how to communicate it, if all of a sudden we switch to, VR becomes the thing, you're going to be able to make VR videos or VR promotions, however that's going to end up working. All right. The strategy is the strategy is the strategy. All right. So here's a couple examples of some of these docs who have found it, the kinds of videos they're running. This would be a good time, by the way. This is kind of just it's a teaser, right? It's to get your appetite wet, but start taking notes. What do you like about this video? What is he saying? How is he coming across different than you come across in your own advertising and marketing? Oops, I think I just went past that. Let me try that again. Okay.
That, my friends, was an adjustment. Hey, tell you what, you do not need to live with low back pain, neck pain, even headaches. Let me show you exactly how we figure out the best way to take care of you. Come with me. When you click learn more for our new patient special, we'll bring you back into this room. This is where we do all our consultations, so we can figure out exactly what you've been having to deal with. We'll also do a complete spinal analysis, posture exam. We even have on-site state-of-the-art digital x-ray. So we can figure out exactly what you've been dealing with, how chronic your problem is, and exactly the type of care that you need. Click learn more for our new patient special. We only have a limited availability this month, so we're looking forward to meeting you. You deserve to feel your best and live life at 100%.
Okay. Here's another one. Give you a second to take notes there. This is regenerative medicine. Okay, so we've helped her develop a proven process. She's got 3 different things that she does with these folks. I think it might be 4. Running great ads, getting great results in an industry in a niche that's expensive, right? It's like she's selling something that's expensive and she's able to get $10 leads, right? When you can get $10 leads for something that costs $6,000-$7,000, you're going to have an easy time in business.
Hey, Long Beach residents, Dr. Zarzani here from Great Life Medical. Are you suffering from some sort of horrible knee pain? Have you been told that you have bone on bone and possibly need surgery? Does it hurt for you to walk up and down stairs? Or maybe it pops and clicks? Or maybe even it's hard just to walk down the street? If this sounds like you, please come in and see how we can help you get your life back without drugs and without surgery.
Pretty simple. Okay. Hopefully you guys took some notes there. These work extremely well. Anything to add there, Dr. Zaino?
No, that was great. I was talking to Zarzana the other day. She's come so far with her video ads. She's done great.
Totally.
So good.
Hey, Long Beach residents.
I planned that again. Sorry. Okay. So Dr. Zaino, you have this concept that I heard you talk about. So we're going to get into these guys, building their own ads now, you guys. We're going to walk you through a process. And I know one of the big things is just sort of like fear, like what if it's not perfect? So Dr. Zaino, do you care to talk about that for a moment?
Right. So, the perfectionist, it kind of sounded cool for a while, saying like I'm a perfectionist. And it really was a procrastination method. It was a lack of confidence to get the job done. It was just a way for me to say, well, Rory, what color chairs should I have in my clinic? And Rory's like, just get the ad out. Yeah, but first, I'm trying to get this special. And in fact, being a perfectionist leads to procrastination, even to the point where, I'm asking questions, enabling myself to procrastinate. Well, what camera should I have, or what caption thing should I do? It's like, dude, film the video. So speed of implementation. So when we say we're perfectionists, that's nothing to be proud of. I always go into, we just need to be a potentialist. So I thought of like, imagine if you were a firefighter and a piece of the roof came off and damaged your shoulder. So you just got one arm now. And there's a kid across this huge flame that you got to go save. So you're not going to sit there like, I'm going to wait for my shoulder to heal. I'm going to wait for everything to be perfect. No, like you just do the best you can with what you got in the moment you have it. That's a potentialist. That's speed of implementation. That's destroying the law of diminishing intent. Like when you get excited, you act because every second after you have that inspiration. So you're hearing this right now. There's a party that gets excited, and every second that goes by, it's the old comfortable paradigm that winds up making the decision, not the inspired person to take action and go further in your life. So that's why always remember, be a potentialist. No matter what's going on, usually everything's not perfect. You just do the best you can with what you have in the moment you have it, and that's all. And that's the expectation that you got to give yourself. Just I'll do the best I can with what I have, and then course correct after you go forward.
Totally. That's perfect. And that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna get into the nitty-gritty now. We're gonna build out a rough marketing strategy. You're really gonna want to take a lot of notes, guys, as we do this. This is idea, right? There's no bad ideas. Write all your ideas out. Okay. And guess what? Maybe the first idea you have is only so-so, right? That's okay. But be a potentialist, get it out there, and just start working and iterating and getting better, right? You've got to suck before you're great. Okay. Dr. Zaino, I'll hand this over to you as well because you are so good at shooting videos. But we've got kind of these best practices for shooting videos, if you don't mind.
Yes, awesome. So you don't have to just say like I'm building a studio in my house for doing ads and doing other things on social media. But guys, it really it starts like with your phone. Okay, that's the best. Guys, it's an amazing camera you have. Quiet area. So the two things, and I appreciate someone said about captioning. I'll get that in a second. So two things Rory told me. You want great lighting and you want great sound. Okay. So you don't want, any music or stuff in the background. Like it's so important. Like, so you could go, we could probably send that kit, as far as like we're on Amazon. I got a microphone. There's some out there, the Rhodes that are $450. No, for $19.99, I got something that just clips in here. It's got a little lapel thing, and I even bring it to the gym if I want to do something. So you just think you're in the gym, got the treadmill and stuff. That thing picks it up sweet. So it's not expensive. You have your phone, you have that. Even get a little tripod if you want, and that's what you do. And when you do it, it's okay. Like I even like the teleprompter. There's many teleprompter apps out there. So when you're looking at your phone, there's the teleprompter, and when you're reading it, you're looking right in the camera. So you're dead end looking at the camera. So, and the reason why I like that is because when it comes to an ad, I love someone said, "Do you have to talk that fast to be on purpose?" And I'm like, dude, I was trying to get it all in 60 seconds, right? So I would do that teleprompter just because what do I want to say? It's clearly thought out. I'm getting rid of the ums and the ahs that add to seconds. And with that teleprompter, you can really nail it. And let's say like I did it, it was a minute and 10 seconds or something. So I would do a couple takes until I was right at that minute mark. Good lighting, good audio. You get two or three that you like, and then I would turn it over personally to Roy's team, and they would test it, and the one that won is the one that we went with. So it's something, guys, you could do literally right now. You could just turn that phone on. You got good lighting, and just the order that Rory told. What's the problem?
Yeah.
This is going on. Throwing stones. You tried surgery, drugs, this and that. It hasn't been working. Well, we have a solution for you. You explain your core offer or what you're offering, and then you land it with a close. Here's the
Yep.
close. Here's a special offer. Click right now for the first 17. Boom, you go in there. So everything you have is if you're watching this right now, you have a phone, you got everything it takes.
Yep. Perfect. And we've got a list here. That's I didn't put that bullet point up. You want the light coming onto your face. This is a really common mistake, guys. Lighting from the back is not a good. So like if you shoot it in front of an open window, that's kind of like a no-no because the light is coming from behind you and basically it makes your face look really dark. That's how cameras work. And then it's not a very good picture. So these are just some of these basic things that you can keep in mind. So don't have an open window behind you. Put the light in front of you. Like I've got a big floodlight in front of me right now so that I don't have any weird shadows on my face and stuff. Okay, and then these are kind of Dr. Zaino mentioned a couple of these. So at the end here, we will drop you guys a link that has these. It has all these links in it. If you're like, man, where do I get a teleprompter app, or where do I what microphone should I do? These are all. We'll share all of these with you. Okay. You don't need the teleprompter. You don't need a microphone. Don't let it hold you back. Shoot your first video tonight. We're going to give you exactly what you need to say. Just take it and run with it. Okay.
And Roy, real quick, like I want you guys to understand, like he just didn't say that. Like that's what we did in the last time we did this. This is why this is so interactive fun. Guys, shoot your video. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just shoot it, get something on there, and then we'll give you an opportunity to send it in, like actually get it going. And a lot of people did last time, and it was great. We had a really good time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, cool. So before we can make ads, we've got to get clear on what to say. This is where that strategy element comes out. Like, what do I want to say? How am I going to be different? And that comes from your strategy. So we're going to do a crash course on marketing strategy. Get your pens and pencils ready. You need to write down ideas here. Now, this is not like, right, we could spend, there's volumes and volumes of books written on strategy. I'm going to give you the points that you need to be successful right now to get you ahead of 95% of your market. The promise. Okay. I want you to think about this. People are not buying red light. No, there's nobody sitting at home saying, I need a red light in my life. People are not buying chiropractic adjustments. People are not buying the diet plan. What people are buying is the benefit that those things give them. And so if you are a good, effective communicator, you want to tell them what they are actually buying, which is the dream outcome. Okay? So the person, you want to speak to an ideal client. You don't want to speak to everyone. The differentiators, we're going to talk about some of the things that can make you different. The core offer. This is what your actual money maker is. So you don't come right out and say the first time people hear about you, you don't come right out and say, I have this $5,000, $8,000, $10,000 thing, and it's going to include all this amazing service. They're like, whoa, I don't even know you yet. Your core offer is what you want to sell people, and that's really what makes you money. But this isn't what you use in advertising, but you do have to be very clear and specific about your core offer. And you have your front end offer. This is an attraction mechanism or a promotion. It's how do I start the conversation? Okay. So these are the elements we're going to talk about today. All right. And we are going to take those elements and we are going to create building blocks. And then we can use those building blocks to create ads, and we can just switch them around, and we can have 1,000 different combinations. And when you have all these combinations, you're never going to run out of ad ideas. That's why I want you guys writing down ideas, right? Because you don't want to think, you want to get out of the mindset of like, well, just run the same ad as the other guy. You want to have options here because that's going to give you control. All right. So let's start with this idea of the promise. What are you actually selling? It's the dream outcome. So people aren't buying treatments and services. They're buying results. They're buying the actual life benefit that they get. So you may have heard this term before, but you want to sell the vacation, not the plane ride. You don't want to sell, you're going to be sitting next to, sweaty, 350-pound guy with stuff spilling over into your seat, and, going through customs, and like, that's not what you're selling. You're selling that white sandy beach, the margarita in your hands. That's what you're selling. And you've got to get clear on that. What is that for you? So what is the dream outcome that you sell? What is the why that really causes people to pay you? Okay. I can promise you the why is not because they get to come to your office 36 times. Now, kudos to you if you have an amazing office culture, but that's not what they're buying. Okay. So here's a couple examples. And you guys write down multiple examples here. I want you to write down, try to get 5 in the next 1 minute. Pain-free in 30 days. That's a dream outcome. Balanced hormones in 60 days. Freedom from hot flashes. 40 pounds in 4 months. Okay. These are just some ideas, right? 90% reduction in headaches, right? Whatever it is that you're doing, get specific. Make it's quotes, but make a promise, right? It's not that there's not a guarantee there, but there's an outcome that people want to buy. And that's what you actually want to communicate. Is there anything else maybe you've tried or experimented with, Dr. Zaino? Like anything you would throw in there for maybe any of the niches, in neuropathies, and one that 60% increase in balance or nerve function, things like that. And you can show these things with some of the imaging tests that a lot of you guys do.
And what I want to relay out to everybody, do not do not shy away or be hesitant on giving a measurable outcome. Like time is measurable, pounds are measurable. Like you could give a measurable outcome. Like, I want you 50% better in four visits if it's, whatever. So, and I started noticing, Rory, what we started to do is like a knee, a knee recovery plan, or a knee recovery um pain-free knees in 30 days. So like where actually we got a little bit more, because I noticed when we went more specific, like they're saying, then we had a better thing. It wasn't because I thought it was specific, but it was actually general. I just missed from taking that one little bit of extra step to get that much more specific, and it made a world of difference.
Yeah.
So, with we have the soft wave, so it could be knee, or yes, lose 12 inches if it's a contour lining, or hormones, like you're saying. So it is okay, guys, to put a measurable goal, because I know as chiropractors sometimes you're like, well, it's kind of intangible. We're increasing the function of the body. It's like, we don't know, well, like, guys, I know what we think. We have to communicate to what they want. All right. So for us, getting the atlas at a certain degree would be great. Whether they feel better or not, that's hey, because you're the power's running from above down, inside out. But this person wants to play that golf game better. That person wants to be 50% better. So it's okay to communicate. This is where Rory was talking about. Sometimes I used to get so hung up on my way of philosophy, and I would only communicate my way of philosophy. I wasn't able to bridge the gap to someone's like, listen, my back hurts. I'm like, well, are you subluxated? Do you have a like they're my back hurts. I have to, I would say, like, step down the ladder, communicate with them here. And through the process, now I educate them on other philosophies. So you have to meet them where you're at. And I was always, Roy, I can admit, I was scared to, because it's almost like we set a goal and we don't put the date. Why don't you put the date? Because what if I don't hit it on that date? No, no, be specific. And guys, that is tremendous to do. So really take that extra step and go specific. Go with that.
Yeah, totally. Okay, guys, hopefully you got some examples here. The person. So people buy to get out of pain. They buy to get whatever it is, a better golf game, to get in shape. And they want to feel understood. They want to know that you get them, right? There's like that old saying, like, people don't care that you're interesting until you're interested. And when you can communicate the words that they are using, all of a sudden they feel like you understand them, right? And this is the concept you're going for when you want to identify what we would call an ideal patient avatar. Okay. So, excuse me. Sorry about that. So, what are the words your ideal clients would use to describe their symptoms and the life effects of those symptoms. We heard that ad earlier with Dr. Zarzana. You know, is it hard to walk up the stairs? Maybe even just walk around, right? Getting out of bed, you feel popping and clicking. All of a sudden, you're using imagery that this person is experiencing. The popping and clicking noises, that feeling in their knee when that happens, right? There's a term that Dr. Zaino started using, and you can give us a story of how you came up with this. But it was toothache going down the leg was something you were saying in your ads, and it was working extremely well. But go ahead and tell about that.
Rory, you nailed it on the head. I was talking about like if you have sciatica or a pinched nerve, like how many of you guys know when people come in to say have sciatica and you know it's not sciatica? They're just say they just put the term to it. So I realized when I started saying, hey, describe in your terms what's going on, and they would describe in their terms. So this whole next week, guys, when you ask someone describing your terms, they say it feels like I'm sitting on a it feels like I have a toothache, or I'm sitting on a hot poker, or it feels like I have a lightning shooting down on my legs. And I go like, and I realized, oh my Lord, they're telling me the answers to the test. So when I did that in the ad versus being so my kind of medical terminology to actually the verbiage that they used that past week, it because like yes, he's talking. Yeah, it's a toothache. Feels like an ice pick in my in the side of it. Made all the difference in the world because again, it was like meeting them where they're at, and they felt totally understood. It's like yes, I've been trying to tell people. It feels like I have like a rock in my shoe because they're like plantar fasciitis. Versus saying, "Do you have plantar fasciitis?" No, but like, do you feel like you have a rock in your shoe? And it'd be like, "Yes, that's me." And that emotional response got them literally clicking, "I want more information now." And I think that it's guys, it's that simple because they're telling you the answers in your consultation. You just got to listen to them.
Yeah. So write those ideas down. What are they saying? What does it feel like? What does it keep them from doing? Right. We work with some ED docs, right? Like that's a pretty obvious one. And you can imagine how emotionally significant that is. There's some pretty significant life effects there, guys. So write those ideas down. Get at least 5 here. Try to get those written down. Next one. These are some differentiators, some ways to actually show that you're unique and different. Number one is root cause. So your method identifies and solves a root cause rather than a symptom. Just saying that word root cause has been one of the most effective marketing tools that we've had for clients. So if in your video you can say, have you tried drugs, surgeries, pills, potions, lotions, and it still feels like the problem hasn't gone away? That's because those deal with the symptoms. But what we do here is we identify and specifically find the root cause and we fix that, right? If you can use that messaging in your video, that one thing alone. Now, if you can even go further and actually say what the root cause is in a way that is simple, it's even more powerful. But really, that's all you need to say is make it clear we focus on the root cause. And you can do that for virtually any type of niche, right? You've got your neuropathy, right? Nerve flow, blood flow, inflammation. Those are causing the neuropathy, right? We can go, it's virtually, right? Like regenerative medicine. If you guys have questions about this, like I can show you how we've built ads that show, hey, that we solve the root causes, and that's very different. Next one, having a proven process. I gave that goofy example earlier, right? But it's maybe you have the 3 zones method. Maybe you have the Z7 healing protocol. Maybe you have the 15-5 age reversal methodology. By the way, guys, you can make this up right now. Like you don't have to go to a school or some training course for someone to tell you this is the 15-5 methodology and this is how you do the 15-5 methodology. You know, if you're a chiropractor and you do chiropractic adjustments, supplements, and cervical traction, and that's it. There's your three things, and you can make a name for it. And that's your methodology. That's your protocol. That's your method. Okay. I don't care how boring you think you are. You can make it sound sexy by coming up with a name for this. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 1 if you're still with me. If you're like, if any light bulbs are going off, give me a 1. I want to know if this is landing with you guys. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Yeah, it's really powerful stuff when you do this. This is, like I said, these are the fundamentals of marketing, right? So we're going out there trying to play basketball in the NBA, and we never actually learned how to dribble and shoot, right? But if you learn the fundamentals, all of a sudden the game gets a lot easier. Unique mechanism. I won't spend too much time on this. Just because I already gave like my favorite example, which is P90X, muscle confusion. Okay. But hopefully you guys write down these ideas. What's your ideas for naming your proven process? What's your ideas? You know, maybe you're one of these docs that you have a bunch of methodologies, right? You've got a spinal decompression machine, you've got the DRX 9000, right? You've got the soft wave, you've got I mean, who knows, right? Like maybe you've got a physical therapist on staff. You've got all this stuff, but you treat them all as completely separate things. And that's all you need to do is combine the three of them to make this process that's so unique that nobody else is doing and comes across as so unique to your potential patients, right? Guarantees. Now, I know when I say that, there's going to be a little pushback, but I'm going to give it to you as a tactic so that you know, right? So if you are okay with offering a guarantee, guarantees really strengthen what you're doing, right? So if you can guarantee a certain result, you will get far more yeses, right? You'll get a few more refunds, but you're going to get 10 times the yeses and maybe 2 times the refunds. And the net there, guys, is significant, right? I'm not going to force any of you to do that, but I want you to think about just do the exercise. Hey, what could I guarantee? What would I be willing to guarantee? Like, how could I show people that I stand behind my work? Okay? Write those ideas down. All right. Your high ticket core offer. High ticket, right? This is what we talked about earlier, right? So you got to have that treatment plan when you deliver those pillars, that proven process, that treatment protocol. You got to charge at least 2,500. I know some of that's not a problem for some of you, but I know some of you in here it's like, oh man, that's tough. This differentiates you. When you charge higher prices, you get people that are more committed. You can hire better people. You have more profit for yourself. Like that. I mean, no one doesn't like that, right? At the end of the day, that's what you're going to sell people after you've made that front end offer. Front end offer. So new patient special is a front end offer. A free consultation is a front end offer. Ideally, what we would recommend is taking all those principles that we just mentioned and you want to put them into a unique package, such as the 2-day pain relief challenge, right? Something like that, right? The peripheral neuropathy 2-day challenge. Have a new, if you're a pediatric practice, have a new kid by Monday jumpstart, right? These are the types of things, right? So now all of a sudden, instead of saying sign up for my new patient special, now you've actually taken this. It's like something you can grab off the shelf. Oh, that's the 2-day new kid by Monday challenge. Boom. I want that one. Right? You've packaged it up into this unique thing that sounds very different. Write down some ideas, guys. All right. Hopefully you've got notes here. This is where the magic begins because we're going to show you what we have now. We've gone through all those elements. Every single thing you wrote down is now a building block for an ad, and you can take those, you can swap them around, you can move them around. Okay, you can make hundreds of ads now. You have front end offer, you have proven process, you have pain points that we came up with when we were talking about your ideal client avatar. You have the life effects of those pain points. You have the promise, that dream outcome. You have the root cause. You have your unique mechanism. Now you can just start combining those building blocks, and those are your scripts for your ads. Okay? So here's a couple examples. First, I talk about the pain points, then I talk about how we find the root cause, and then I make my front end offer. So do you have XYZ? Is it causing you ABC? Well, here's what you have to do. You have to find the root cause. Here's my offer for you to find the root cause. All right? Pain points plus your proven process plus your front end offer. So hit those. Do you have XYZ that's causing ABC? We have developed a unique and proprietary proven process combining X, Y, and Z that allows us to get the best results in the industry with a 97% success rate. Here's my offer. Okay? Unique mechanism plus pain points plus proven process plus front end offer, right? So you can see how we can just take these and just start pasting them together and make hundreds of videos. Does this make sense, guys?
Rory,
Is there anyone here who says, man, this is killer?
Rory, real quick,
Yeah.
clarification between the core offer and the front offer.
Yeah, that's a great question. So the front end offer it's the fire starter. It's the promotion. It's just a mechanism to start the conversation. Okay. So you want to generate leads and you want to generate engaged leads, people who really actually want help, right? That's the first step in the process of marketing. And that's what your front end offer is for. And that's really what we're talking about is you can take these ideas and create these ads in which you offer your front end offer. You're going to then take them once they become a lead, you're taking them through, a new patient process, a process designed to diagnose and identify, can you help them? And if you can help them, then you're selling them. That's where your core offer comes in. You're selling them your core offer, and you want that core offer to be expensive, high ticket, right? So you've shown them, you've done your diagnosis, you've done your X-rays or MRIs or imaging, whatever whatever it is that you're testing, and then you say, look, based on this, I can help you, and here's how I can help you, and that's where you would give them the front end offer, or excuse me, the core offer. Does that answer your question? Carolyn, I see your question there. Yeah, I mean, it's not that you wouldn't also test photos, but yeah, like videos are the ticket these days. There's certainly 2 or 3% of offices that are still going to get great results with pictures, but yeah, videos are the key. All right, guys. Now watch how these ads here use these building blocks, okay? We've got a upper cervical practice here.
Hey, Louisville, let's start the year off right. Let's get after those nagging like neck pain, headaches, back pain, all the things you've been neglecting to do for whatever reason, and let's take care of it this year.
We are running a 2-day pain relief jumpstart for just $21. It's an unbelievable, amazing deal to just even see if what we do could be helpful for you. Included in that is your 3-dimensional images of your neck, your first adjustment, as well as a before and after neurological scan to measure the results of the success of the adjustment. Everything we do here is extremely customized, and we want to get you back to feeling your best self for 2024. Click the link below to learn more, and we can't wait to meet you this year.
See you soon.
Okay, that ad's crushing it. They're in Boulder, Colorado, not that far from me. Boulder, Colorado is almost like Atlanta. There are a ton of chiropractors. Everyone I've ever spoken to there tells me the same thing. Ads don't work in our area. There's too much competition. People are so used to chiropractic, they don't want anything to do with it. Well, they differentiated themselves with their ads and they're absolutely dominating. All right, well, we'll talk about them tomorrow.
Hey, Louisville.
Oh,
Let's
playing
start
it
the year
again.
off
We
right.
don't need to watch it again. Okay. Okay, so a couple of important points before you shoot your videos. Dr. Zaino, do you want to jump in on these? Just some of the high points of kind of some things to keep in mind for the videos.
Yeah. Okay. So the vertical format, he means this guy's this way. Okay. This
Yep.
is like YouTube's all about this, but when you got TikTok, Instagram, even like, yeah, just do it vertical. So you want to shoot it vertical. Okay.
And the one thing I'll give you guys there is like you can throw in a sideways one every once in a while. I have found occasionally the horizontal will work. It will, right? It'll work really well because people sometimes it's almost like a pattern interrupt. Like they're so used to seeing vertical, but start with vertical, guys. Like verticals where 90% of the attention is. Okay.
Face the camera like this, just like, hey guys, it's so much better. You want your
Yep.
face to the camera. Easy. It's very, it stops me and it's engaging. They always say, your eyes are the window of the soul. It happens. And what I want to talk about here, we didn't talk about last time. There's something called energy transference, guys. Like, what I mean is that's why it might be my fifth or sixth take before it's the one that starts to feel and you get in the groove. Like you have to feel my energy transference versus just kind of being script. So maybe my first two takes, I'm a little cold. I'm thinking too much in my head, right? So you could tell I'm thinking or reading. But after a while, the fifth, sixth one, that's only 6 minutes in, guys. Now it feels like I'm talking to someone, I'm having a conversation, and you feel that energy coming where it needs to be. People run from pain. Always, as much as we want to give people the promised land, no, that is not as that's nice. That's nice to hear. But when they're in pain, it's what they got to hear. So you got to go from the pain point. So you're not fear mongering, not anything like that. You have to express pain. They are running away from their pain. Every single person. And Rory will tell you, sometimes when someone clicks on the ad, it's 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. Like they've been up all night. And you know why they clicked it? Because they got so disgusted. They're going to do something about it now. And that's when action happens, was when someone just gets so disgusted, they're going to do something now.
Yep.
And that's the thing. So, like Rory said, they could have played that golf game and they couldn't play their golf game. That was their moment of disgust. They couldn't pick up their kid. That was their moment of disgust. They can't have sex with their spouse. That's the moment of disgust. Like there's a moment of disgust that they're at that window. Your ad gets that moment of disgust, and they immediately are going to go check you out. So yes, yeah, people run from pain for sure.
Yep.
Point out quickly, clarity. There's 3 to 5 seconds. And remember, every time you're doing it, no one cares about your degrees or your papers. They always think. When I speak to someone, I always think they're thinking, "So what?" and "What's in it for me?" Like, "So what?" Hey, I'm Dr. Crisano. So what? They don't
Yep.
care. What can you do for me? So always remember that we don't. Even though you guys are great, you have a lot of experience. What's in it for them? And build value. Make it a no-brainer. You're not going to win by giving, by giving the least. So I went. Rory, can you tell them about that Facebook library? I know that's a little secret of yours, but I think it's something that's killer.
Yeah, if you guys just do a Google search for Facebook ads library, and then you can just go, whatever it is, search
Yeah.
chiropractic or neuropathy
Yeah.
or, regenerative medicine, and you'll get hundreds of ads of what people are running. Like you can the Facebook tells you what ads people are running, and you can see what are these other people giving away. I mentioned, for example, a guarantee. I have a doc in my area right now that is running for regenerative medicine doc for knee pain. He's guaranteeing a 90% reduction in knee pain in 3 months, and he will give you your money back if it doesn't work. And so, like, you have to think for a second, holy cow, like Well, if that's all I'm giving away is a consultation, how many people are clicking on my ad versus his ad,
Mhm.
right? Exactly.
And that's what I told Roy. I'm like, I looked at all these ones, I saw what they're giving, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a video. I'm going to give more value. Yeah, let's say I wanted to beat it at every cost. Like, so here's all these ads. I'm gonna give more value. I'm gonna give them more. Like, Roy, it could be simple. Roy's like, instead of one adjustment, do two. Like, I'm always gonna one up it, and I felt good about that. And you know what? It's fair game. That's another thing, guys. It's fair game. You don't live in like it's fair to do that. It's okay. Be the
Yep,
best. You give the best.
for sure. You
So
did kind of talk about energy transfer a little
yeah,
bit already.
100%.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
And guys, yeah, leverage your uniqueness. So my fitness is my uniqueness, right? That's why I do it. And so but you guys have a lot of amazing other unique qualities as well. Leverage it. We had one guy, I remember Roy, he had ex-military, had all his cool like medals and stuff in the background. And just like it's just cool. Like whatever you got unique, like that was your experience. Do it. You could bring it all there. And it doesn't have to be verbal. I don't have to say it. I don't have to say I'm fit. I don't have to say I'm a Purple Heart. Stuff like that. Like it's there, people see it. So, but great energy for sure. And then the call to action, Rory, has to be slow down, sharp, specific. And what Rory had told me, you must lead them specifically. Do not assume they're gonna know what to do. So click here, do this, like be very concise on that. And Rory, go back into that more because I know that's something you're big on about. You must lead them specifically.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean, you'll still, even when you're extremely specific, you'll still get people that just comment on the ad. How do I take advantage of it? Right? And look, it is what it is. I mean, our attention spans are less than a goldfish, they say. And look, the more clear you can be, the easier you're going to be making it on yourself. You would not believe how many engaged leads you miss out on by not having a clear call to action at the end of your video. I've seen videos where that's the only thing missing. Like world-class video, the doc's got energy, everything's great. And it's like, man, it's like $40, $50 leads. Like, hey, it's profitable, but this should be better, right? And I'm like, well, you just make just a really clear call to action, this same video, and they're $10 leads, a 5x decrease in cost per lead, right? Just from that. So it's not something you want to forget about. I mean, we just think like, oh yeah, they know what to do. But like I'm telling you, this person's in pain, they got kids yelling in the background. I mean, it's just like that last little click, learn more right here. I want to see you. That's all you got to do. Cool. Now let's turn these into a script. So I'm
Yep.
going to give you guys one script here. And as you read this, it's built a little bit more for a chiropractor, but like go ahead and drop whatever niche you're doing, and I'll show you that this is gonna you can customize this for whatever you're doing. Okay. And I am gonna drop this script to you in just a couple minutes here, guys. We'll give you the script so that you have a download of it. Okay. But I just want to make sure I can customize anything. So Dr. Zaino, if you see anyone that throws a niche out there that we want to deal with here and give you guys just a little bit more ideas of how to customize, just let me know. Okay.
Medical spa and cosmetics.
Say med spa.
Med spa, yeah.
Cool.
Cosmetics.
So, Marina, if you could be a little more specific with med spa and cosmetics. Do you have like a high ticket offer that you want to sell? So what I'd be talking about would be like a makeover package. Maybe it's $3,000, right? And we're doing, stuff to boost their collagen and increase volume in certain areas. Maybe it's a body sculpting package. So sexual enhancement for O shot and P shot.
There you go.
Okay. So yeah, I'll deal with that in just a minute. Okay. So, hey, you want to mention the name of the city that you're in, the town that you're in. So it's like, hey, Omaha, are you suffering from? And then you're going to insert those pain points we came up with earlier. And you've tried everything, but nothing seems to help. It's probably because most doctors only deal with the symptoms of pain, or it could be that's because most treatments only cover up and don't do anything about the root cause, right? Like, so that might be more med spa, right? So it might be like you're dealing with age spots, wrinkles, acne. That's because most over the counter treatments don't deal with the root cause of wrinkles and acne, right? So we can switch this around for whatever your niche is. And what they should be doing is they should be addressing the root cause. We have a proprietary holistic approach that scientifically analyzes the structure of your spine. Now, this would be scientifically analyzes the shape of your face, scientifically analyzes the blood flow to the nether regions, right? To identify, oops, sorry, didn't mean to go back. Okay, sorry about that. To identify the true root cause that's affecting your ability to perform, that's affecting your health, that's causing your pain, whatever it is. Once we identify the root cause, we can actually correct the root cause through our proprietary proven process, which, and then you say, reduces inflammation, reintroduces movement to get those bones unstuck and corrects the structure of your spine and gets you back to enjoying your hobbies and loving life again, right? Could be regenerates cartilage, increases blood flow so that you can regenerate new cartilage, gets you out of pain fast so you can get back to enjoying golf, right? Like whatever that is, you're just customizing it to your ideal client. And for the first 25 people this month, I have created an amazing now that's where we're going to insert that front end offer. 2-day pain relief jumpstart, 2-day sexual function challenge, right? Enjoy sleeping with your wife again challenge, right? Whatever that is, you know, what could we call that? We could call it the bring the fun back to the bedroom fast start. You know, like there's so many little ways that you can make this sound cool. And it will allow you to find the root cause of your pain, get your first treatment, all for only $39, right? And you don't even have, as you noticed in some of those ads, like you don't have to put the price in there. I'm just trying to make it easy for you guys. Click learn more below, and we will see you in the office soon. Like I said, I will drop that script and you guys can customize it. Did that help, Marina? Okay, we've got body comp. Morpheus 8 is great. Like I think that is clinics we've worked with Morpheus 8 are killing it. So I think that yeah, you could have a tremendous body sculpting package there. The last line you on conditions is powerful. I don't think I know what they're saying on that one. Pediatric, yeah, Carolyn. So yeah, I mean, this would be this is a good one. So give me your city. I don't know, I'll just pretend you're in Omaha. I don't know. That's always my go-to. Uh hey, Omaha parents, are you dealing with a kid that you just can't get under control? They're unmanageable, they can't regulate their emotions, and it's just causing more stress than you can currently handle. And it seems like you've tried everything. The doctors just tell you to take pills, and you just don't want to have your kid on pills. It's probably because those pills only deal with the symptoms when they should be dealing with the root cause. The root cause of most childhood behavior and learning disabilities is a poorly regulated central nervous system. And we have a proprietary holistic approach that scientifically deals with the cause of hyperactive and spectrum children's behavioral issues. Once we identify the root cause, we can actually correct the root cause through our proprietary proven process, and you'd insert what your proven process is there, which does X, Y, and Z. So for the first 25 families this month, I've created an amazing have a new kid by Monday challenge jumpstart special that will allow you to find the root cause of your kid's behavioral issues. And I'm even going to throw in their first treatment to get them start regulating better. And I'm doing this all for only $21. Click learn more now, and I can't wait to see you and your family in the office. Right. So, I've done this a few times, right, guys? But like that's all I'm going off of is this title at the top: pain points plus proven process plus offer. Right. And that's how you can just swap those building blocks around. You can see once you do 10 of these, you'll start to realize like, oh, wait, I've got this. Actually, it's kind of the same thing every time. I just sort of switch the order around and, like I've got it. So one of you asked, hey, is there a price range you recommend for the front offer? As low as you can go is the answer. And the reason that I would say that, I want you to, that does not mean you can get away with free, but free is going to get you more than 150, and 150 is going to get you less than 50. It's going to get you less than 20, right? So you have to know your practice and what you can do and what it's going to take to be able to hit your goals, how many people you want to have an impact on. And the truth is, there is very little difference in quality based on the price, almost none. Now, let me explain that further, because most people think, well, I'm going to get really low quality if I do, if it's free, for example. And what I would want you to know about that is it's not true. What you would get let's compare free against $100 new patient special. You will get a lot less leads, but what you will find is the percentage of good versus bad is the same or almost exactly the same at 100 as it is at free. The difference is you get 10 times more when it's free. Does that make sense, guys? And so when I say, well, as low as you can go, it has to do with your capacity to handle leads. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, Marina. Hey, so this isn't really the purpose of today's, but I would just tell you this, Marina. So what Marina said, hey, I tried low priced offers before. I want you to think through everything we just talked about. It wasn't the price of the offer, it was the strategy behind the offer. So I used low price offer and we got a lot of clients, but they weren't qualified to purchase high ticket items. And what I want you to think about is, are you hitting the growth goals with outrunning those low priced offers, right? Like if the problem is I can't get enough, then you have to offer something more attractive. And again, everything we talked about has almost nothing to do with price. What it has to do with is, what are you positioning? Most of my clients, I'm telling them, don't even mention the price. It doesn't matter. It's the messaging that matters. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and move on here. Okay. A couple more examples. Write down notes, guys. Like we're going to look and see what's cool about this. What do I like about this? What could I say different after watching these?
Below Woodlands and surrounding areas, are you dealing with neck pain that radiates into the hand, or it feels like you're sitting on a hot poke or a toothache from your back down to your legs, sciatica, bulging or herniated discs, where chiropractic, PT, exercise, nutrition has failed? Because it's a disc issue, and the DRX 9000 is the most researched, 86% success rate, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. For the first 17 of you that are watching this ad, come on in, you'll get the exams, actually 2 appointments for just $21. We'll see you at the office.
Didn't have the click learn more. I mean, we failed on that one, but hopefully you guys see some ideas there.
Below Woodlands and surrounding areas.
It seems like I'm playing these all a second time. This is a really, really cool. This is probably the most successful neuropathy ad I've ever ran. And this is just using footage of a patient. And it still hits the same ideas, though. It still hits the same points. I want you to watch this. Yeah, fantastic, right? It's hitting the same things, guys, right? And when you can get patient testimonials in there, that's really powerful. Here's a weight loss one.
Hey, Greenwood. So many people come to me with struggles with their weight. And when I explain to them that there's an actual underlying cause to their physiology as to why they've struggled for years or decades, they're honestly shocked. Weight loss is not just about calories in and calories out. It's not even just about having more willpower. There is a root cause for why people struggle with their weight. And I think that until we unlock that, the weight struggle is going to continue for the next 10 or 15 or 20 years. I'm Dr. D with Alpha Mega Wellness. And right now we're having a weight loss consultation special. It's only $21 and it's going to start right here, this InBody scan. This is going to give me body composition for you, and it's going to help me start determining what is the underlying reason that you've struggled with your weight. And after that, you're going to get a consultation with the physician or nurse practitioner. We're even going to give you a meal plan that's designed to help fuel your body with great nutrition while taking the weight off. But you got to click the button below and you got to get your appointment because we want to permanently change the trajectory of your health, your wellness, and your weight.
Okay. All right, guys. So there's some good examples for you.
Hey, Greenwood.
I don't know why all of these are playing twice. I apologize, guys. So now we're going to edit our videos. I want to know, first of all, what ideas, guys, did you get from this? Did you pick up anything from the strategy? Before I show you how to edit these, if you want to do these on your own and you don't want to hire someone like us to do the editing for you, I'm going to show you how to do that. But could you just comment what did you pick up? What's the biggest takeaway you have so far from the strategy perspective? We got anything from you guys in there? Are we still coming through with audio? Okay, how to structure ads, structure of the ad, a more disciplined how to prepare an attractive ad, messaging, just get started. I love that one. Just absolutely. Can be made plug and play after enough time and thought. And that's right. Don, that's exactly it, right? Like you've got to do the thinking yourself. Agencies are great, but you've got to do the thinking part yourself, right? Like let them save you time. Yep. Strategy. Absolutely. Killer. Thanks, guys. Yeah, there's a ton of you guys in there. Short, less than a minute. Absolutely. Yep, make it happen even though it's not perfect. Totally. That's absolutely right. Okay. So we'll go ahead and edit one. Okay. So guys, the tool that we use is called CapCut. Okay. Has anybody heard of CapCut? I'll go ahead and share my screen again. I'm in CapCut. I'm not going to show you how to log in or create an account or anything. You guys can figure that out, but I'm just going to go to create new. And this is seriously super easy. Obviously you can get more complicated than this, but you don't need to. I'm going to choose the 9:16 because that's the vertical format.
Guys, take note, 9:16.
Okay. If I haven't uploaded a video yet, I'm going to hit click upload. I'm going to click to upload and I'm going to upload the video. I already uploaded one from Dr. Zaino, so I'm just going to go ahead and throw that one in there. Something I like about this is having a prop right in front of the camera at the beginning of the video, by the way. It's real eye grabbing. People are kind of like, well, what is that? Right. It's a good technique to try in your videos. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add the transcription. Okay. So that's all you have to do is you go over to captions. It's over here on the left and you do auto captions and it takes about 5 seconds. You pick your language, hit generate, and it'll add the captions into the videos. Okay. Now, when it does this, it adds it in this kind of sort of boring white text. And so the first thing I'll want to do is I'll want to change that. So I'll go to the presets over here on the right. And you can experiment with any of these. I think the best ones are these ones. I've got text 1, 2, 3, text 1, 2, 3, and text 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to choose this one. Basically, what that does is it shows it in white, but the word that you're on gets highlighted in green. Okay. So I think that's a good one. At the end of the day, if you like something different, it's all preference. Just, you just don't want it to look super corny and weird. It is what it is. And then the next thing I would do is I would make the text larger. So I'm going to go to basic, the T basic right here. And I'm just going to want to put this at probably about a 14. You can play with this, but probably about a size 14 font. It's pretty simple. And then what I will do is I'll move this whole text box up to right around the first third, the line of around the first third of the video, right around there. And that way it's just a little bit more obvious, and it's right at there's this thing in composing videos where the rule of thirds, people tend to gravitate towards the thirds of a picture. And so we want to put it in that section there. And that's literally all I have to do. What I want to do though, just to make sure we're not making any mistakes, is I want to play the video and I want to see, did it transcribe it correctly? So hit play.
Hello, Woodlands and surrounding area. Are you dealing with searing back pain?
And we just saw an error right there.
Yeah, Williams instead of Woodlands. Yeah.
It said Williams. So I go back to that section, whatever section it said that on. And I can find that text and edit it.
That first one. Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on this so the boxes get a little bit bigger. Now you can click here.
I can even see it.
Yeah. Okay, so we see Williams, right? So I'm going to go in here. Start. Oh, that's where I do it. Yep. So it says Williams up here, and I'm going to put Woodlands. All right. Boom. And so you do want to go ahead and you do want to watch through the whole video and just check for any errors.
Hello, Woodlands and surrounding area. Are you dealing with searing back pain, centralized or going down your leg like it's a toothache or a hot poke?
It said centralizer. I think you probably said centralized, right? So we can go here, click on that box. Centralized. I can play it again and make sure it looks right.
Centralized or going down your leg like it's a toothache or a hot poker, and it's effective.
So yeah, you guys get the idea. At the end of the day, I mean, we don't want to sit here and just make this a proofreading session, but you just want to go through. You want to make sure. And then the last thing I would check is sometimes on these videos, it does add like an end screen where it says CapCut, and we don't want to make it a CapCut advertisement. And this one does not have it. So we don't need to delete that out. And then you'll just put export, and you can go ahead and download it right here, and you'll download that, export it, and you'll have it to be able to upload to your Facebook ads manager or your TikTok ads manager or whatever you're using. Next thing I want to do, guys, is I want to share with you the links to the like those links for like if you want to get a microphone, if you want a teleprompter if you want editing software, like there's a link to this CapCut. I'm gonna share this link with you really quick. And it has the script that we just came up with. So you can actually type it out and customize it, and you can upload it into your let's see, I'll put it in. I did see the chat earlier. Let me know if you guys see this pop up. Hey guys, I hope you found that valuable, and I hope what you took away from this is that what your business really truly needs is it needs a leader at the helm who understands how to acquire patients. And the way to achieve that is to build the skill. Building the skill is going to require understanding how strategy works and understanding your message and ultimately developing what we call product market fit, where you have this undeniable ability to generate demand for what you do. Now, what I would recommend at this point is if you don't want our coaching, go and just do this yourself. Make these ads, give them to your current agency, tell them to run them, or go to YouTube and watch a tutorial for how to run your own ads. It's not crazy hard. But if you want our help, our accountability, our coaching on how to develop a complete marketing strategy where you have absolutely everything you need and you have all of those building blocks pre-built out, and you want our accountability for training you and your team, and you want all the other training that we provide, and you would like us to run your ads, and you would like us to call the leads and book the leads for you onto your schedule, if you would like to work with Brand Lab, there is down below a form that you can fill out to book a call with us. So what I would recommend is taking that action step. If you're at this point and you're like, you know what, my practice has more potential, my clinic can do more, I can give more to the community, I can reach my potential, and I now see that there is a pathway forward to do this, to generate demand, to have that product market fit where we have demand that exceeds my ability to meet supply. That's where you want to be. And if you would want help with that, go ahead and fill out the form and book a call with us. See you soon.